Today I will be presenting my final project for Business 253, Entrepreneurship. My name is Serena Chadbourn, and from a very young age I always wanted to own and operate my own business. The specific business that I always had dreamed of running would focus on sale, repair, and upholstery for various types of marine vessels, primarily operating out of the north end of Vancouver Island. By cornering this market, I could take advantage of the demand for the service and form a reliable customer base by building connections with sailing clubs and prospective customers from the local community. My goal would be to set up shop within the Comox Valley. This geographical region is attractive to entrepreneurs in many ways, as displayed by the multitude of businesses of various scales that are flourishing in the area. Many demographics call this region home, including retirees, young students, growing families, and people who are recently new to Canada. This is an area with a high population of people who either own or make use of marine vessels frequently throughout the year. With the Comox Marina as a backdrop for operations, clientele will be thrilled to have a local option for their repair and upholstery needs. This area sees a high volume of traffic throughout the year, ranging from tourists to permanent residents and live-aboards. All these factors contribute to the lucrative opportunity presented to dominate the market of sale, repair, and upholstery in the Comox Valley, effectively serving the majority of northern Vancouver Island as a whole. From an early age, I learned and was trained in the skills of sail repair, maintenance, as well as sailing itself. Areas of improvement that I would need to work on would be fine-tuning my upholstery abilities. Many years of my adolescence were spent dedicated to the craftsmanship needed to deliver high-quality repairs with key focus on attention to detail. Sailing is an activity that I always enjoyed growing up, and my passion for the industry is demonstrated by my knowledge of these aquatic vessels, as well as my capability to repair and operate them. My training at North Island College has provided me with the skills and abilities directly related to managing the various aspects of a successful business. During the Tourism and Hospitality Management program, I was able to learn about the various complexities of business accounting, effective marketing techniques, and leading a team through challenging obstacles that present themselves during day-to-day operations. With my previous experience, I have rooted knowledge of the industry. However, I will need to update and refresh these skills by taking courses related to heavy-duty sewing and upholstery in order to be successful.
Today, these nautical science students are designing and tailoring sailing suits, all in a day's work as part of this innovative high school program at Carey High.
You can really thrive here and get an education you wouldn't be able to get really anywhere else. We are the only program like this in Canada, and we're breaking new ground, and it's a lot of fun, and we're like guinea pigs, but it's a good kind of guinea pig.
I was in charge of the procurement of sailboats during my nautical science program that I took in high school, and one of the challenges that I faced during these repairs was learning how to effectively Frankenstein multiple sails together in a cohesive way, making the ships that we are working on seaworthy once again. It was during this time that I was the main seamstress for these repairs, and others in my class would look to me for guidance in learning the proper methods of drafting these new sails. By taking on these projects, our program was able to profit and allowed us to continue our operations, including funding multiple class sailing trips. Some struggles that we faced during these trips would be onboard repairs and patching of our own sails as we are on open waters. One particularly intense emergency repair that I was responsible for attending to is an incident where a visitor of the program who was ill-prepared for the conditions of the trip faced a large tear during our voyage. This halted our journey as I was required to jump on board their ship and was harnessed and hoisted up to remove the sail, complete the repairs in the cabin, reattach the sail to the mast, all while being on shaky waters. That made it difficult to safely complete the task. This was a daunting experience, but this is where I learned that I can effectively manage a crisis by leading a team back into safety while maintaining quality craftsmanship and composure.
People who join the program really want something different. They don't want a typical school setting. They want to learn in an innovative way, and the nautical science program is definitely innovative.
With strong interpersonal and soft skills, I have the confidence in my ability to develop a profitable service business and establish a reputable brand that customers will feel comfortable trusting with their marine vessel repairs. Building this brand will be the priority as the business begins taking on customers, and it will be the initial repairs that are done that will be able to establish a level of quality that is unrivaled by our competitors. By combining these practical sale repairs and maintenance skills with the business knowledge that I have acquired, I will be prepared to handle the challenges that present themselves along the way. Sail repair and marine vessel upholstery is a niche market with minimal competition across the Vancouver Island region. Currently, all potential competitors operate out of southern Vancouver Island, with the closest to the Comox Valley residing in Nanaimo. With a small handful of businesses to compete with, there is certainly a need for more accessible sail repair that my prospective business could address. By creating a business that fills this gap, I can effectively take a share of the existing market that would have to travel significantly further otherwise. Starting up this business in the Comox Valley will provide many great advantages, ranging from customer acquisition by marketing towards sailing clubs and locals who own and operate sailboats across North Vancouver Island that are looking for sail repair and upholstery closer to home. As I am starting from scratch, I can also ensure the highest level of quality is maintained from the beginning. With quality craftsmanship, it will instill the confidence in my company that clients know that they are able to rely on. Focus will also be placed on finding and utilizing eco-conscious practices, committing to sustainability, which is an ever-present concern and factor for businesses and services of all scales. By cornering the northern Vancouver Island market, clientele from areas such as Campbell River, Port McNeill, and Port Hardy will also be more likely to utilize our services for sheer convenience of being the closest location that they are able to travel to. With a limited market to compete against, building a solid customer base will begin as soon as the doors open to the public. Many of the current businesses have extensive waitlists for prospective customers, displaying a need for a wider range of options. The marinas across the Comox Valley and other northern communities are frequently filled with vessels year-round, and by advertising my services to these communities, it will allow for growth, as successful repairs will lead to expanding my network of clients as positive reviews correlate to increased business traffic. Importance will also be tied to the employees that are hired, as I will be counting on them to maintain and deliver high standards of care for our clients, meaning that when sourcing employees, there will be heavy focus on their knowledge and skill set background, ensuring only the most qualified applicants are employed with competitive wages that motivate them. As my business is providing a service with revolving inventory for individual cases, the profit margins will be favorable, as the cost of our economical material can be passed down to the customer, and labor costs will account for the majority of our revenue. With all these factors, this business delivers on the foundation of sustainability by considering its triple bottom line. A highly profitable business with happy, motivated employees delivering services using environmentally friendly materials. With a foundation like that, success is inevitable. While it may remain a daunting task, the only way I would ever want to start this business is from the ground up. This will allow me to make all the important decisions related to owning and operating my service shop. My dream would be to operate out of a loft space located near the Comox Marina for ease of access for clientele. If we are accessible to a major port, it will streamline the transportation of potential boats to work on. By spending time laying the framework for operations, I can mitigate potential issues before they ever arise and allow for complete control of how the business will be managed. This includes hiring a highly skilled team that has passion for the industry, determining the proper vendors to deal with when sourcing high quality materials, and establishing a unique brand identity that will be synonymous with my goals and values. When determining appropriate startup measures for this business, the main options available would be either to purchase an existing business outright, to franchise from an established brand, or to form the entire business from scratch. This remains an easy choice, as I have always pictured starting this business from the ground up. I have a very clear vision on how I want to operate, and accomplishing that will only be possible with complete creative and executive control. Obvious advantages are the influence that I will have in establishing my brand, my ability to pick and choose the people and entities that we do business with, and forming the core principles that we would be operating under. This route will come with challenges as well. Starting from scratch will mean a significant amount of additional work will be required to begin operating. This will also likely lead to higher startup costs, as everything needed will be sourced individually rather than as a whole package. Networking and sourcing contacts to do business will be difficult initially, and at first roadblocks may present themselves, as these working relationships will need to be established. And while location will play a pivotal role in customer acquisition, there is no guarantee that the business will see immediate success, and it may take time before it becomes profitable. Overall, there are going to be benefits and risks involved starting from scratch, and after weighing these factors, I have determined that the value of establishing this business from the ground up will be worth any risks involved. Even though I am sure of which avenue I would like to pursue this business opportunity through, it is important to explore other options. Purchasing an existing business outright would be difficult considering the only operating sale repair shops on Vancouver Island are in the southern part of the island. A key component of my goals for this business is to mainly serve the northern part of Vancouver Island, so the idea of purchasing elsewhere defeats this purpose. It would also be challenging to persuade an existing sale repair shop to sell their entire business package with all their existing clients for a fair and reasonable price due to the limited number of competitors in the market. It would be beneficial to have revenue coming in from day one and arguably could potentially have a faster success with return of investment. The issue remains that by purchasing the business outright, many of my creative freedoms will be lost as the brand identity will have already been established and would be difficult to change. In addition, the employees would be a wild card. Either they could be highly skilled assets to operations or immediate liabilities that would need to be replaced. Considering these factors, purchasing is not the right option for this business. Another option for starting up would be franchising. Franchising would be a great option for somebody who is looking to start up a sale repair business that doesn't have a clear vision of how to begin and operate one. That is not to say that franchisees lack knowledge of the industry, rather they take advantage of the comfort provided by the framework of operating a franchise. The key advantages that come with starting up this way would include joining an existing network of shops that operate in many different markets, increasing brand recognition due to the established businesses that have already seen success. With this immediate customer base, the chances of early success regarding profitability are highly likely. While all these factors may be enticing, ultimately they come with limitations as well. By franchising, any creative freedoms are extremely limited by the franchisor who manages the brand's reputation. In most cases, this means that methods of advertising, store layout, and company policies and operating procedures are mainly decided by a head office that maintains control over all these aspects of the business. This can lead to a lack of uniqueness, and it would make it difficult to have a complete sense of ownership. Starting up a sale repair shop is something that I have always been passionate about from building up from nothing. It is a business that I want to feel complete ownership and control over, and the only way for me to effectively accomplish that will be to start from scratch and establish my own unique brand centered with my ideals. To start this business, there will be a significant startup cost associated with it. Immediate expenses that will be incurred include supplies and equipment such as sewing materials and industrial sewing machines totaling approximately $15,000. Another major expense will be leasing commercial space to operate in. A cursory research in the Comox Valley shows that current viable options to lease cost up in the range of $30,000 to $40,000 per year for base rent costs. After that, other variable costs include property tax, utilities, repairs and maintenance, insurance and management fees, and other miscellaneous expenses that will be incurred throughout the process of opening. These are varying costs, and as such it is difficult to pinpoint exact amounts. With quick napkin math based on the municipal tax rates for the Comox Valley region, places property taxes at approximately $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the property value at the time of assessment. Considering it is always better to prepare to spend more than expected, the other basic startup expenses could be averaged out to around $25,000 conservatively. This places the cost to start up at roughly $90,000 with varying amounts allocated towards certain expenses. In addition to these costs, operating costs also must be considered. A major cost is employee wages, salaries, and insurance. For skilled workers, they will need to be compensated fairly and equitably. This will also mean competitive benefits packages that motivate them to remain faithful to my company. For example, if these employees were being paid $25 an hour at 40 hours a week, after including extended benefits coverage, employment insurance, CPP allocations, vacation pay, and training expenses, that cost per employee becomes closer to $35 an hour per employee. If the shop employs a minimum of 2 employees, that becomes just shy of $150,000. This number could be reduced by lowering the rate of pay, reducing benefits allocation, or cutting down on operating hours. This number will also grow as more employees are eventually onboarded to match the needs of the business. Additionally, there will be a need for other material as services are provided. However, these costs can be passed down to the customers who require them for their vessels. Essentially, this means that for the first year, approximately $240,000 will need to be available to cover startup and operating expenses. This is not an exact number, but rather a guiding frame of the approximate amount it will take to start up and run this business comfortably as it becomes established in the market. Ideally, at the time of starting this business, it would be preferred that my personal net worth would be 200% of my startup costs. This, of course, would provide added security in my investment, where I would be able to completely fund this business from my own finances while maintaining a positive net worth afterwards. Ideally, I would be able to fund this with liquid assets, although another avenue that I would likely need to explore is taking out a loan against my assets or against the business itself. While equity financing can provide helpful cash flow, in the beginning, losing partial ownership of the business in the process would mean less personal equity in the company, so I will be trying to minimize my usage of the source of financing. There will be risks involved in taking loans against personal and business assets, but the benefits of majority ownership outweigh the risks involved. This will mean a combination of bootstrap financing with potential angel investors combined with debt financing against existing assets. The goal will be to market these services to people who need repairs and need them done quickly and conveniently. There are a handful of alternative sale repair companies across Vancouver Island, however, they are mainly operating out of southern Vancouver Island. These service shops experience long wait lists, and the distance can be a problematic factor for residents of northern Vancouver Island who require repairs and maintenance regularly. The goal would be to market this to this customer base that would otherwise have to travel to these destinations for their repair needs. Effective ways of accomplishing this would be through online targeted ads, through Google and Facebook, for example, as well as physical ads posted at marinas throughout the Discovery Islands, northern port towns such as Campbell River and Port McNeill, and print media ads in coffee news and local newspapers across the island. As of 2024, prime interest rates are significantly higher than they have been over the last few years. This makes it difficult for new prospective sailors to purchase sailboats and will in turn affect the volume of potential customers that will be looking for repairs. However, existing sailboat owners will still need regular maintenance and repairs and are more likely to be in a financial position to spend their money on these repairs. Currently, there are projections for rises in fuel prices, so this could also contribute to a higher percentage of sailboats purchased to reduce the fuel cost of their marine voyages. These high interest rates also work against the business, as any loans taken out will be at less desirable rates, costing more in the long run. This can be mitigated by refinancing when the rates come down, but there is no guarantee that this will happen during the lifetime of the loan. The target demographic for our services will be aimed towards retirees and adventure seekers in the Comox Valley region who own or operate sailboats and similar marine vessels. These prospective clients will be found in local sailing clubs, sailing charter companies, and simple word of mouth passed around these small communities across northern Vancouver Island. By marketing to those groups and placing emphasis on quality craftsmanship, ideally a customer base can be established of clientele who will return consistently for the repair and upholstery needs. This service answers a considerable need for many owners of marine vessels in the Northern Island. If executed right, this business could help the many prospective customers who would be thrilled to have an option for their sail repair and upholstery needs closer to home. A study from the National Marine Manufacturers Association, NMMA, showed that as of 2016, approximately 8.6 million boats are owned by Canadians. Taking this as a conservative estimation, we can extrapolate using the current population count from 2022 of 38.93 million Canadians and say that there is roughly 22% of the population with boats. According to an article from the Canadian Encyclopedia, there was a time when sailboats accounted for about 10% of Canada's boats. Considering that most of these boat owners will reside in larger municipalities such as Vancouver and Toronto, the number of sailboats in smaller communities would likely be reduced by at least 50%. By combining these statistics, we can make an estimation that approximately 1.1% of the population owns a sailboat. This is not an exact number, but rather a statistic that we can use to estimate the market that my business is targeting. According to 2023 census data, the population of the Comox Regional District is 72,445. So by taking this 1.1% of that, we can assume that around 800 sailboats will be in and around this region. Reasonably, we can assume that if we are to combine this amount with the smaller northern communities, there are likely around 1,000 potential sailboats that can be worked on across northern Vancouver Island. Across Vancouver Island, there are 5 competitors who also do sail repair. These are well-established businesses who are consistently busy with work, often having to waitlist their prospective customers due to high demand. Theoretically, this would give my business a 16% market share for the Vancouver Island region as a whole. Based on the potential customer base, if we assume that 16% of these potential customers in this region seek our services within the first year. That is 166 service contracts that could go through my shop in theory within that year. According to data from ImproveSailing.com, average sale repair costs typically range from $2,000 to $5,000, taking the average of $3,500 and assuming only 50% of these potential contracts are viable, is an estimated $290,000 in revenue in the first year. This would bring the company books into the positive within the first year of operations, effectively solidifying its position within the market. Naturally, this revenue is not guaranteed, however, it is a solid estimation of where the business could go financially and competitively after its first year of operating. Various market data from NMMA shows a steady increase in Canadians acquiring boats of many different shapes and sizes over the years. During the 2020 lockdowns, many Canadians turned to recreational sailing to get out of the house, leading to a major boom in the industry, and with public opinion and government regulation turning focus towards sustainability and eco-conscious practices as an expectation, sailing provides consumers with a great option for water leisure that takes these factors into consideration. While sail repair is a service that has existed as long as sailboats themselves, there has been a limited amount of innovation within the last decade. As such, there is space available to set new trends in the market to create a competitive edge. An innovative idea that would create a trend in the market is operating a mobile sail repair service in addition to the physical shop. This would provide customers in unique positions and locations with access to our services when they would otherwise be unable to. By setting the trend, I could charge a premium for the service and instill confidence in my business for the future clientele. There are 5 major competitors that operate across southern Vancouver Island. These include Precision Sales, Leach McBride Sales Limited, North Sales Victoria, Lee Sales, and Nanaimo Canvas. The major challenge that these competitors pose is their history in the industry. They have the advantage of being well-established brands that clients rely on for their repair and upholstery needs. In addition to their customer base, they also have the cohesive networks of vendors and suppliers for all their material needs. In the case of Lee Sales and Precision Sales, these are international brands with connections to a network of sail repair shops across the globe that utilize high-quality imported material. As this is a service business, there will be consistent traffic from their repeat customers with very little effort needed to maintain their market standing. Currently, they are the only options for clients on Vancouver Island, with additional competition operating out of the mainland. The crucial factors that will help improve my business's chance of success will be the location and innovation. By strategically placing my operations out of the Comox Valley and setting up a mobile repair service, it is my hope that I will be able to outshine the market and become our clients' first choice for sail repairs. A few issues regarding the marketability of the service will include being a fresh business with no established proof of capabilities. Until clients begin utilizing our services, promoting our high-quality service will only be theoretical. Another bottleneck that will likely present itself early on is the variability of prospective clients. It remains to be determined whether there will be a high volume of potential service contracts or if there will initially be a period with minimal business activity. These are challenges that the business will face as it opens its doors, and they can also be mitigated by creative solutions. An opportunity that presents itself is the chance to have a strategically timed opening to maximize business potential. The ideal time to open is during nautical days in Comox, as sailing is on everyone's mind over that weekend and the traffic potential clientele will be at its absolute highest for the year. Another opportunity that ties into this plan would be to hire a handful of temporary employees to ensure a successful grand opening where service contracts can be filled immediately and the long-term employee needs can be established early on. To promote high-quality repairs, at least 2 of the initial employees will need to be vetted extensively for their skill level, and they will be able to help set the tone for the standards of service for the rest of the team. By taking advantage of these opportunities, my service shop should see early success despite the marketability issues presented. The main goal for this service is to become a reputable name in the sail repair and upholstery industry. To accomplish this, focus will be placed on establishing clear goals and objectives for the beginning of operations. Simple short-term goals will be growing a network of clients that can rely on our services for their repair and upholstery needs. This can be done by using strategic pricing to entice new customers, only accepting jobs after inspection and determination of viability, and using geographical location to attract clients. While the business may share the market with other competitors across the island, essentially the entirety of the Comox Valley would primarily be serviced by my shop. Ideally, if projections summarized through my quantitative analysis are accomplished, it would mean an approximate profit of $50,000 after the first year. Although this is not a massive profit margin, simply achieving a positive balance in the first year of operations is pivotal in ensuring its success and avoiding interest charges on outstanding debts. Long-term goals will include offering additional services for clients to introduce new revenue streams and encourage larger servicing jobs. Another goal for the business would be to eventually expand into other markets by opening another servicing shop along the West Coast, after establishing a reputable brand that the public trusts. Although before a second shop could ever open, the first one would need to reach its full potential and produce enough revenue to handle the additional startup costs. Appropriate marketing will be the first step in achieving my goals for this business. Utilizing all the advertising avenues available will be vital in reaching my target demographics. By ensuring the proper clientele are aware of our existence, we will be able to build a reputation of an exceptional brand that customers can trust with their repairs. Direct marketing for the sailing clubs across the region will also be instrumental in acquiring a steady flow of clients who are looking for a service that my business will provide. As growth continues and service contracts are established, the revenue brought in can be used to expand the service shop by hiring more employees to handle demand and eventually offering extended services for marine vessels that pass through my shop. After a year of operations, ideally finances will be a net positive across the board, proving that business can effectively make money. When revenue increases to a level where there's a significant cash flow and operations are running smoothly, the next steps will be to expand and start up another shop within another market along the West Coast. My ambition to see this business succeed is unrivaled, and I know that by dedicating my efforts towards growing and expanding through a methodical process, achieving my dream of owning and operating a successful sail repair empire is imminent. Once we are fully operational, the service procedures will need to be a well-oiled machine. This can be accomplished by having efficient plans of action for the various repairs that the shop will see during daily operations. For example, when a prospective customer requests our services, the first step will be determining whether the job is viable, and there will be a routine inspection process that takes place to ensure the job can be completed promptly and properly. After inspection and approval, a quote will be provided to the customer and a deposit will be required to start the repairs. During this process, materials will be sourced for the job and we will complete the necessary repairs. At the completion of our service, the customer will be contacted and they will have the opportunity to review the work completed to ensure they are satisfied with the finished product. It is at this time that the remainder of the payment will be taken and a new business-client relationship is established. Operations will take place in a commercial loft space with a large bay that will comfortably fit the sails that will be repaired. By utilizing a space with a large height, the sails can be displayed in various positions that allows for ease of inspection and repairs. Upstairs would contain our industrial sewing machines, where the repairs would be completed. The lower level of the building would serve as a prep area with storage space and an office for administrative duties. Here at the entrance, we would also host a reception area with an inviting lounge space for clients to feel comfortable as they determine if they will be using our services. Tasteful artwork related to sailing and marine life would also be positioned in and around the shop to create a welcoming atmosphere for both clientele and employees. To ensure the business is prepared for odd miscellaneous jobs, basic inventory for simple repairs would always be kept on site to meet those needs. For extensive repairs and active contracts, certain supplies would be sourced on a case-by-case basis to manage the number of materials that remains on site during regular operations. There would be an organizational system put in place to manage the inventory that passes through our shop, and this would be used effectively to streamline the repairs of current and upcoming jobs by ensuring access to proper materials is prioritized and monitored consistently. Beginning the hiring process will entail an extensive search to find talented individuals who hold great knowledge and skills related to sail repair. These candidates will also need to be vetted thoroughly with impressive references and a complete hands-on assessment of their skills. Once hired, the training process will be individualized depending on their skill level and previous experience. During this process, I will be evaluating their capabilities to ensure I can trust them to properly complete the repairs that the business will be responsible for. To assist with this training process, an industrial sewing course will be provided for those that need to hone their skills. Ongoing training would also be provided to ensure that my employees' skill set stays up to date. Setting proper standards and policies for human resource management will be important in establishing my company's mission, vision, goals, and operating procedures. Creating company policies that are in line with how I intend to run my business is integral for prospective employees to understand the expectations that they must adhere to. This will involve extensive job expectations that are attached to the respective postings to set clear guidelines. In addition, there will be goals for growth that will be met with rewards for employees that are actively working towards achieving them. Building on this foundation, it will be important to focus on each employee's job satisfaction and overall morale, as a happy and content team of workers will help the business realize its full potential. Regular evaluations of employee performance will be used to help them develop their skills and ensure that they are receiving appropriate competitive compensation for their efforts. At the forefront of these ideals will be a commitment to protecting the health and safety of all employees within my sale repair shop. Prioritizing qualified and trusted individuals and equipping them with adequate resources is crucial. Clarifying personal values and reinforcing them daily can allow me to serve as a role model, inspiring employees with my vision of this business. Working collaboratively to enhance performance and establish trust strengthens the team through confidence and accountability. Encouragement entails acknowledging contributions, attentiveness, showing admiration for the best qualities, celebrating victories, and fostering a sense of community. Self-evaluation is imperative in assessing the leadership example for employees. From the moment a new employee joins the team, I will make it my mission to ensure that they feel valued and welcomed. Through introducing them to their fellow coworkers, facility location, and personnel policies within the first week, I will set the foundation for a collaborative and supportive work environment. Additionally, we establish short-term goals for our new hires and implement a results-driven business strategy that empowers them to succeed. Providing a supportive probationary period that fosters growth and development ensures that every employee has an opportunity to thrive and achieve their full potential. As responsible members of the business community, we must ensure strict adherence to all employment laws, including those related to payroll, overtime, and anti-discrimination regulations. Prompt payment of payroll taxes and provision of accurate paychecks to employees is an essential practice that we must follow. Additional responsibilities include adhering to WorkSafe BC regulations, abiding by both provincial and federal labor laws, and following all anti-discrimination regulations. Our shop must also have workers' compensation insurance to cover any potential workplace injuries. Furthermore, we must follow health and safety rules to protect the safety of employees and guests. Ensuring all staff have WMIS training will be a requirement for operation. As a proper incorporated entity, there would be many obligations and liabilities incurred as a sale repair company operating in Canada. My business would need to be registered as a corporation, specifically a limited liability corporation, LLC. These include tax obligations for revenue generated by my business and proper reporting responsibilities of income and expenses to the Canadian Revenue Agency, CRA, on a regular basis. Example of these liabilities include collecting applicable GST and PST for applicable services and material projects used in the repairs that will be undertaken. Additional remittances and responsibilities include managing employee income tax deductions, maintaining records of all transactions both externally to our clientele and internally with business expenses incurred throughout operations, and proper protections are in place to reduce personal liability tied to the corporation. By registering as an LLC, a key advantage is that the profits from the corporation can be passed onto me directly to be taxed as personal income. This helps to avoid a double taxation issue that occurs when a company's revenue is taxed in addition to personal income taxes. There are numerous tax breaks that can be utilized to lessen the burdens incurred regarding taxes as well. These include contributing to RRSPs, to take advantage of the marginal tax rates, tracking and using all expenses to reduce taxes owing, and employing the CRA small business deduction for a lower corporate tax rate of 9% to 12% on active business income up to $500,000. With these advantages and tax savings, I will be able to maximize my profits and ensure that the money flowing through the business is managed properly and efficiently. As the business begins to grow, there are potential obstacles that could present themselves throughout early operations. Immediate concerns that arise include the unpredictable nature of gathering clients as a new service business as it will take time before trust is gained from the community. Determining the proper staffing needs of my company will also be a major factor in establishing how we will operate. However, this will require trial and error, as it remains to be seen how many service contracts the business will see in its first few months of operating. Difficulties could also be present when repairing contracts begin, and the practical skills of my employees will truly be tested. If there are major gaps in their skill level, they will be highlighted during these first few contracts that the business takes on. These challenges that we will face can be mitigated with proper preparation and establishing business relationships with the right people early on during the formation of the company. Finding service contracts and business clients prior to opening our doors will be instrumental in ensuring that there will be revenue flowing in from the opening day. Maintaining appropriate labor costs will be handled by keeping 2 full-time employees on payroll and hiring temporary helpers during the beginning of operations to manage the possible influx of business. Hopefully, the extensive vetting and training process will ensure that our employees have the skills necessary to produce high-quality repairs. To prevent contracts from slipping through the cracks, I will be personally overseeing all repair jobs that pass through the shop for quality control and training purposes. There will also likely be other hiccups and bottlenecks along the way, and I have complete confidence in my capability to navigate these challenges effortlessly. As a service business owner, I understand the importance of developing a succession plan to ensure my business's continued success even after key personnel departing. I found that following these steps has helped me create a comprehensive plan. The first step will be to identify the key positions in my business that are vital to its success, such as senior management, sales executives, and customer service representatives. Determining the necessary skills and knowledge will follow shortly afterwards. Once I have identified the critical positions, I can outline the required skills and expertise. This will help me identify potential successors who possess these characteristics. Building a pool of potential successors will start with hiring and training employees who have the potential to fill key positions in the future. Providing ongoing training and development opportunities will help employees acquire the skills and knowledge needed for key positions. Establishing a mentorship program that pairs experienced employees with those who have less experience will also grow their capabilities and leadership qualities. This helps transfer knowledge and skills from experienced employees to potential successors. Developing a contingency plan for the potential unexpected event that I am unable to manage the business is vital in maintaining operations. This may include identifying temporary replacements or cross-training employees to fill critical positions. I plan to regularly review and update this succession plan to ensure it remains relevant and practical. This helps me identify any gaps or areas that need improvement. Sale, repair, and upholstery remains my greatest passion. As evidenced by my plans and visions I have for this business, it has become clear that my extensive knowledge of this industry lends itself well to my capabilities to effectively manage and operate this company from the ground up. Every aspect of my business planning has been meticulously thought out, from the personnel I hire to the markets I operate in and the clientele that we establish relationships with. In a perfect world, all my plans for this business will come to fruition with very little obstacles to navigate through. However, even by planning each step of the business creation with care and attentiveness, there will always be challenges that inhibit the growth of the company. It will be within the creative solution to these problems and overcoming complications that establish my success in this industry. Building a successful sale repair empire is my ultimate goal. Through perspiration and dedication, I can achieve my aspirations and leave an exceptional legacy in this industry.
You have to pull your weight, you have to work hard, and if you do work hard, you can really succeed in the marine industry.